Hello, welcome. This is Kathy with Quality Coach Kathy, and today I am going to give a demonstration, some instructions, a little bit of history, um, talk about the benefits of a particular technique. And when we start talking about techniques as tools for healing, growth, manifestation, living a great life, having connection and meaning and impact in our relationships, techniques are useful tools. And like any tool, they have a purpose, and then you're not using them all the time. You want to have a variety of things at your disposal, at your capacity to fit your time and need and specific. But this particular technique is called the swish, swoosh, swash. It really does not matter what you call it. You call it swoosh, you call it swish, you could call it the obliterate, you could call it the image shatter. When we get into the meat of the technique, you'll see that the personalization of this technique is very useful. So make it your own, make it useful for yourself. And I'm going to go through a little bit of the history of this technique, and then I'm going to talk a bit about the benefits. And I want you to take notes if you just want to jot some things down, because there are things that you want to be targeting in your own interest. So to start, let's talk a little bit about, oh, there's my dog barking. Let's talk a little bit about, this is not going well. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back because she needs a little love and attention. I was on the history of this technique. You might find it fascinating to study the subconscious mind the way that I find it fascinating. So this technique has roots in understanding around the programming of the subconscious mind and our higher mental faculties, such as imagination. This technique relies a good amount on your capacity to focus, concentrate, and imagine. Don't get too hung up on that stuff. It's about a practice. It's about an ongoing practice, or that continual repetition that it takes to master anything. The subconscious mind is really the power of walking without having to think about it for a lot of effort. It's the difference between when you're learning to drive and when you can just navigate traffic. The subconscious mind, for the purpose of this technique, really is the shortcut to results, to put it that way. So we want to have a capacity to determine what our subconscious mind is focused on. And this technique really helps program that. So my understanding is that Tony Robbins uses something similar. This technique came to me through a very experienced hypnotherapist. And Margaret Lynch uses different imagery similar to this technique. So there's a whole bunch of different people that use the power of the imagination to improve the quality of people's lives, their own life, your life, my life, kids' lives. Because when we hold an image in our mind, we project it into the world. We can't help it. So if we have a self-image of funny, we're gonna hold ourselves. We're gonna say things differently. We're gonna interact with the world as though I'm funny. That's my self-image. Now, there's a whole buffet of choices that we can hold, images that we can hold about ourselves, about the way the world works, about what's possible for our life. So with the power of our chosen image, our imagination, we can start projecting the image of ourself, our circumstance, our future in a more powerful and precise, self-actualized way. So this is really, it's a simple technique, but it's so fun, so cool. Anyone can do it. And it's got deep roots in history of, we're built to make stories. It goes way back into the original teacher of the story that we tell ourselves, the image we hold in our mind, and how we project it or move it into our real circumstances. If we're telling the same story of drudgery and lack, we project that into the future, and then it makes sense that we get extra bills and there's never enough money at the end of the month, because that's what we're projecting out into our world. So the benefits. Let's talk a little bit more about the benefits. If it's not self-evident already, that when you have ownership of your own image of the world, and you have programmed your subconscious mind for efficiency to seek out that kind of success, that kind of specific circumstance, that result, that the capacity to self-actualize, whether it be contribution to your communities, or the kind of satisfaction that comes with feeling worthy, feeling safe, feeling valued. So what those circumstances might be for you, that's the benefit of this kind of technique. That's the power of this kind of technique. It could be the difference between 10 years of this happened, that happened, I got this horrible thing, and the journey story is tough. Or it could be the difference between, whoa, that 6-month period, that year period of my life was unbelievable, doubled my income, shifted circumstances to be completely different and better, right? So that's the benefit. Feeling confident just in everyday life, having circumstances shift to some progressive or breakthrough level. And then there are these other subtle benefits of having the power of concentration. It is a foundational capacity to focus on what it is that you want to focus on. Concentration in and of itself. Utilizing the body, and when you see the technique, you'll see how the body is utilized. The subconscious mind really exists in the body. That's why that automatic walking without thinking and driving without having to mechanically dictate to yourself how to drive. It's shortcut, it's shorthand. The subconscious mind is designed to shorthand. So what you think about expands, and if you're in the image and in the feeling of your better future self, the more you go to that better future self and that feeling place of optimism, love, abundance, safety, the more likely, and it works. It's a big thing to talk about, and we've been talking about it a lot. So let's talk about the instructions. So think to yourself, well, that sounds great. That was a lot. Just chew on it a little bit. There's some resources for you to consider. Psycho-Cybernetics is an amazing book on subconscious mind. Neuro-linguistic programming has some really great basis for using the imagination. And of course, you can contact me. because I'm Kathy Delamia, quality coach Kathy. I work with individuals, groups, and the self-development, the lowering of suffering, and the raising of resource and abundance. So let's get into the instructions. Now there's a piece of the instructions where the eyes are opening and then the eyes are closing. And the eyes are opening and the eyes are closing. So just in the use of the body of the eyes, you're focusing what your attention is on. Makes sense, right? If your eyes are open and you're focusing on something and then you close your eyes, you take out the sense of sight and you tune in with the inner image. Okay, so you're going to be doing that. We're also going to be standing to activate the body groundedness. So in the standing position, we're connected to the earth slightly differently. We get aligned, okay? And then we're going to have your baseline. So we're going to establish your baseline right now. So take a moment and say, okay, what's an area of my life that I want to change? Big or small? And tune into it and see yourself in that image. Maybe you're interacting with someone in particular, excuse my throat. Maybe you're, I don't know, my example, and I think this is maybe a small example, but it's enough of an example that I think it illustrates it. So I'm a paper piler. And that's part of the way that I've organized myself forever. I generally can find what I'm looking for, but I'm a piler, and I swear it's a personality trait. Okay, so I know what that feels like. And I know how it can get to be a problem, like the expansion and contraction of that part of my life. So think of something like that, possibly. It could be like, oh, I'm at the bottom of my rope, and you know. But it could be something more like, well, the chores in the house are a real problem, and I know what it feels like. I know what I see when I think of that issue. Okay, so that's what you want to baseline with. And that's going to be in your mind. When you close your eyes, you're going to tune into that picture of, in my example, paper piling, maybe chores, maybe not earning enough, maybe having limited respect in specific or general relationships. Okay. So that's the first piece, is getting a grip on that image in your mind, your life circumstance, having that baseline, closing your eyes and tuning into it. And then in a standing position, we're taking our dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, it's going to be, for me, this is my right hand. It's going to be your dominant hand, left hand, okay? So you're going to scoop a new image. You're going to close your eyes, see that old image, see what you want to change. You're going to put in your dominant hand a new image. So this is the future self in that dominant hand in the back of your mind, going, maybe I can have something different. And you're going to start to visualize, concentrate, and reach for the better feeling, the better imagery, the better future, and start detailing it just a bit. You don't really want to force it. It's enough just to kind of mechanically move through it. So you don't want to force it. There's no getting it wrong. Your life is already doing fine. But here in that new future self, you can be like, I can feel the order, the filing cabinets all nicely decked. I can imagine, wouldn't it be great to have help, right? Or Your circumstances might be, oh man, just to have a savings account. That would be awesome. Or there's the respect, the safety, the new house. It can be very detailed. It can be just reaching for that better feeling image. Maybe it's a new haircut and then you scoop it. Okay, so this is the swish and this is the swoosh. All right, so you're going to take that dominant hand with that image in it and you're going to swoosh it up. You're going to take your less dominant, you're going to take a clap it. And in that clap, it swashes it. Okay, so those images, you obliterate the old one and you replace it with the new one at the forefront of your imagination. You open your eyes with the image of the newer, better feeling self and circumstance and projection at the forefront of your mind. And then you close your eyes and you go back to the previous image, the familiar image. It may not change, it may be a little easier, whatever. You recapture it, you close your eyes, and then you do it again 7 times. Put that better image in the dominant hand, swoosh it up, swash, open your eyes. You give your real-time experience a moment of merge. Right now, you feel that better self. You feel closer to the image of the future self. And then you go back and say, okay, remember what it's like, piles, disrespect, whatever it is. Put that new image in that dominant hand, swoosh, swash it off, open the eyes, feel and keep that back of the mind, better self, ready in the projection. Close your eyes and just notice the shifts. Huh? Whew. Are you getting it? Do you have an image? So let's make sure you have a good, strong baseline. So again, that baseline might be the person that clicked on the video to start watching this in the first place. It could be the last time you went to visit your family person. Something that's like, oh, I felt like I was shrinking, or I felt disempowered, or I just felt less than I want to feel, and it was familiar. It was a normal, that's what I do in those circumstances. That's how I am, right? But I want to shift it. So make sure you have something along those lines and write it down. And then take a time. This is where the power is to get really good at seeing and feeling without a force, without resistance and shame, and without doubt. Just give yourself a little play time with imagining and feeling right now without the evidence, without the circumstances being different, but allow it into that dominant hand, into the back of your mind, expand it, and then bring it up and make it more real in the moment. Very cool, very fun. Let's see, I think I've recorded enough for now. I do want to do just a real quick practice session. So stand up. I know, I don't want to either. So stand up and we're going to do it. Okay, so let me make sure you can see me while I'm standing up. All right, so you want to stand up nice and tall. Okay, close your eyes. See that old image? Take your dominant hand. See that new future self in that dominant hand. Swoosh that hand up, obliterate. Let it swash away. Hold in your mind the new image, see and feel it. Open your eyes. Okay, close your eyes. Go back to that feeling of discomfort. Take that dominant hand back. Feel that extension. And switch that image. Bring that full image, that excited image, that helpful image. Swash. Slap that. And change the image, holding the forefront of your mind. The feeling, the texture, the circumstance, the best you can of that new self. Open your eyes. Take a breath. 2. Ready? Close your eyes. Go back. Swing that hand back. Replace the image. Bring it forward. Take a nice slap and hold in your mind the new future self. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Go back to the old self. Bring that dominant hand back. Replace the image with that new self. Swing it up and take a slap. Clap it. Swash it. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Go back to the old image. Take your dominant hand. Swing it behind you. Replace the image with that new, excited, full-bodied self and swing it forward. Take a nice big slap. Clap. Open the eyes, obliterate it, and replace in your mind's eye that new image of yourself. See and feel it. Again, ready? Close your eyes. Go back to the old image. Take the dominant hand, swing it, replace that image, bring it up, and clap. Bring that new image to the forefront of your imagination and open the eyes. Now let's count. Let's do it 2 more times. Ready? Close the eyes. Take that dominant hand behind you. Replace it with that new image. Swing it forward. Take a clap. And see and feel the expansion of that new image in the mind. Open your eyes. Take a breath. Close your eyes. Go back to the old image. See how it shifts and moves. Take that dominant hand behind you. Replace it with that new image. Bring it to the forefront. And take a big clap and swash away that old image. Replace at the forefront of your mind your best self. See if you can feel in your body even more safe and whole and happy. Okay, that's the whole point. See if you can detail out some of those pieces for yourself. Take a nice deep breath in. We'll come down to our sitting spot. That is the switch, swoosh, swash technique. So love your subconscious mind. Do your best to work with it. Practice. Love your body. Do your best to work with it. And give your gift. That's the whole point, is we've got some special things to offer, and there's just so much more love for each of us, you, me, all of us. And this is a fun thing. This is like better than watching commercials. It's a really beautiful world that we live in. Thanks for spending some time with me. I'm Kathy Delamia, Quality Coach Kathy. You can book a one-to-one session with me or join one of my groups, which is my big passion. Keep imagining. Keep imagining and feeling it. Bye for now.